It's for a good cause, I swear. By Sarah1281.
Chapter 17.
Breaking the news to Sasuke. Did you find out if you got promoted yet? Kisuke asked his daughter.
Sakura shook her head. The exam's not over yet.
Then shouldn't you be doing some exam type thing? Momoko asked.
We're having a month-long break before the final stage, which is an elimination-style tournament, Sakura explained. It's open to the public, so if you guys want to come, feel free.
Her parents exchanged a look.
I'm not sure, Sakura,
Momoko said slowly.
You might get hurt.
Sakura couldn't help rolling her eyes.
That kind of comes with the territory, Mom.
I know that, Momoko exclaimed. But knowing and seeing are different things, and it would just make me worry more. On the other hand, this seems to be a pretty big deal, and I've heard all sorts of foreign dignitaries are going to be arriving. Kisuke noted. How do you think you're doing so far?
My team and I have been doing pretty well, Sakura said modestly. But the next part is testing us individually, and I'm up against Neji.
And that's bad? Momoko asked cautiously.
He's insanely talented, Sakura replied.
But I'm going to give it my all anyway, and hope that even should I lose, I'll put on a good enough show to pass anyway. You should be more confident, Kisuke told her. I'm sure you'll do fine.
Yes, you've worked very hard these past few months, and you should be proud of yourself,
Momoko agreed.
I better do more than fine, Sakura said. Otherwise, that much springtime of youth will haunt me forever.
What on earth is the springtime of youth? Kisuke wondered.
Sakura shuddered. Trust me, you don't want to know.
I will never understand ninja, Momoko declared, shaking her head.
That's probably for the best, Sakura told her. Now I have to go, as Naruto called a team meeting before I have to meet with Tsunade-sama.
She probably should have left already, but Naruto had given her a heads up about the subject matter, and she was just as uncertain about how to break the news to Sasuke. The medic? Kisuke asked. She's training you? Sakura smiled triumphantly.
Yeah, she is!
What in the world was so important that it couldn't wait until after training? Sasuke asked. Kakashi wasn't there yet, but he didn't have all day, so he figured they could just start without him, seeing as how Naruto was the one to call the meeting.
Oh, well...
Naruto trailed off.
Yeah, it's really big,
Sakura told him.
And we're actually not quite sure how to let you know this.
You could try just spitting it out, Sasuke suggested.
We could,
Naruto agreed.
But with such a delicate topic as this, that might not be the most tactful way of handling the situation.
Sasuke snorted. What do you know about tactful?
Not much,
Naruto admitted.
Which is why, if even I don't think it's the best way to handle it, it really isn't the best way. Not to mention that we're not sure how you'll react,
Sakura added. She paused.
No, scratch that. We're almost positive we know exactly how you're going to react, and that's why we don't want to tell you.
Then don't tell me, Sasuke said. Or at least work out how you're going to do it. In the meantime, I really do need to get started on my training.
No!
Naruto and Sakura shouted at the same time. Sasuke raised his eyebrows. What's this? One would almost think you don't want me to get stronger. You aren't afraid I'm going to try and leave to seek vengeance on anyone, do you?
Perpetually,
Sakura replied.
But that's not it. It's just... something big has happened, and you're going to find out sooner or later, and we'd rather you hear it from us.
Then tell me, Sasuke ordered, beginning to sound impatient.
Well, you see...
Naruto began, sounding rather nervous.
Oh, hey, look, it's Gaara! Hi, Gaara!
Gaara, who had been passing by the bridge they were standing on, stopped and turned to face him. Yes?
So how have you been?
Naruto asked. Gaara blinked. Since yesterday?
Naruto looked a little sheepish. Yes?
I know I can win my matches, Gaara said simply, but to not pass the minimum sanity requirement would make this entire trip a waste of my time.
Not a complete waste, hopefully, since you met us and were awesome,
Naruto objected. I still want to be a Chunin, Gaara told him. Naruto shrugged.
Fair enough. What were the things Dad mentioned? Not being more youthful than Guy. I think you're safe with that. There was also nomadic laughter, Sakura added. Do you do that?
Very rarely, Gaara replied, and not since I've been here.
There was also no killing allies. How many people have you killed since you got here?
Naruto asked. Gaara thought about it for a minute. The man I fought in the preliminaries, and the 3 from the Forest of Death, he said finally.
Well, Zaka wasn't from Suna, and if they didn't expect deaths in the forest, they wouldn't have made us sign the waiver.
Naruto decided.
But wait, didn't Kiba say his team got a scroll from those corpses? If he only killed one team, then how did they get a scroll?
Sakura asked. Maybe the team had already gotten 2 scrolls, and Temari only took the one they needed, Sasuke suggested.
That makes sense, Sakura decided. And the last thing would be, don't let personal issues habitually get in the way of your fights.
What does that entail? Gaara wanted to know.
Well,
Naruto trailed off.
I guess it means that if you had a crappy childhood, don't keep bringing it up when you're fighting people, or if you were dealt a rotten hand, don't stop in the middle of a fight and lecture people about how they should stop trying to fight fate because they are destined to be losers. In your case, I would suppose that would mean not mentioning any resentment you might feel about being a Jinchuriki.
Gaara nodded. I can do that. It's only a month after all.
That's the spirit!
Naruto jeered. Goodbye, Gaara said before continuing on his way.
Think you can do it?
Sakura asked as she watched him leave. Naruto shrugged.
No idea! But it should be good practice for actually becoming sane and, with luck, Kazekage in the future!
If you're quite done with that, I would like to remind you that I have a rather one-track mind and still want to know what was so important. Sasuke brought them back on topic.
We know,
Sakura muttered. Yo! Kakashi waved as he appeared in a whirl of leaves. So how did he take it? Do we need to put anyone in protective custody? How did I take what? Sasuke demanded.
We didn't actually get around to telling him yet,
Naruto admitted. I can see that, Kakashi said, looking horrified. Well, in that case, good luck, and I'll be back in 20 minutes.
Like hell you will,
Sakura said, grabbing his arm.
You know more about it than either of us anyway.
You know, I'm sure that whatever it is cannot possibly be as bad as the scenarios I'm envisioning, Sasuke told them.
It's probably worse, actually.
Naruto disagreed. He took a deep breath.
Madara broke Orochimaru out of custody.
There was silence for a moment.
Sasuke?
Naruto asked, waving a hand in front of Sasuke's face. Maybe he's in shock, Kakashi suggested. Could you repeat that? Sasuke said, his voice low.
I would rather not,
Naruto confessed. Sakura sighed and did as requested. Madara broke Orochimaru out of custody. So Orochimaru is no longer in Konoha, Sasuke stated. No, he probably is, Kakashi corrected. We just don't know where he is. And he must have come here for a reason, and unless that reason was annoying Hibiki, he still has whatever mission he's on to accomplish. This wouldn't have happened if you had just let me kill him, Sasuke felt compelled to remind them.
How did I know he was going to say that?
Sakura asked rhetorically.
We had no way of knowing you would escape!
Naruto burst out.
No one escapes because anyone who could doesn't get captured in the first place!
And Madara rescued him, Sasuke continued, as if he didn't hear them. He did, Kakashi confirmed. How do you know? Did anyone see him? Sasuke demanded. Well, no, Kakashi admitted. But he did leave a note that said, Tobi is needing Erohebi Senpai. So Tobi went and got him. Sorry if you need him too, but this does not mean Tobi is not a good boy. Tobi. So we felt reasonably sure that it was him. Unless there is actually a real Toby running around and joining the Akatsuki that acted just like the Madara did when he was pretending to be him.
That's highly unlikely,
Sakura noted. Right. Sasuke nodded. If you'll excuse me.
Wait, where are you going?
Naruto demanded, somewhat panicked. I'm going to go find Orochimaru and Madara, and then I'm going to kill them, Sasuke answered as he continued to walk away. Naruto, naturally, decided that there was only one thing he could do in this situation. Tackle Sasuke! What are you doing, Naruto? Sasuke growled. They are dangerous enemies of Konoha, and since they are actually in the village, I wouldn't even have to leave.
You might be able to beat Orochimaru right now,
Naruto said, still not getting off of his friend.
I think you'd stand a far better chance after you train with Itachi this month, and if the three of us are with you. But you could potentially pull it off. Just the same, there is no way that you can beat Madara right now. You remember how hard it was before, and we were 16. We were way stronger than we are now, and the match could have gone either way. Besides, Madara has the full power of the Akatsuki on his side now. Do you really want to face Orochimaru, Madara, Sasori, possibly Deidara, Kisame, Kakuzu, Hidan, Setsu, Konin, and Nagato all at once?
It'll be fine, Sasuke insisted. Naruto groaned.
Oh, Kami, he's delusional!
You started him on the topic of revenge. What do you expect? Kakashi asked rhetorically. Naruto glared at him.
It's not my fault Madara showed up!
This isn't just some stupid grudge, Sasuke bit out. Madara didn't just screw my family over by creating an antagonistic relationship with the rest of the village and summoning the Kyuubi to attack right before Naruto was born, prompting my brother to feel the need to kill everyone and spent the next 8 years playing at being evil in Akatsuki, but he also destroyed half the village, made Naruto a pariah, formed Akatsuki, and had Konoha completely destroyed, as well as declaring war on everyone. If he's not stopped, he'll just do it again. The man won't stop, can't stop, until he destroys Konoha.
That's very sound reasoning!
Sakura applauded.
But you're still only saying that because you want vengeance.
No, I'm not, Sasuke denied. Maybe we can compromise, Kakashi suggested. Sasuke glared at him. Compromise? How can we compromise? I want to kill both Madara and Orochimaru. You don't want me to go off and kill either of them. So would I only get to kill one of them or something? And get off me, Naruto!
Not until you promise not to run away!
Naruto said stubbornly. I won't need to seek vengeance until after this conversation is over, Sasuke promised. Naruto didn't budge.
And the conversation isn't over until we say it's over!
Sasuke rolled his eyes. Fine, whatever. Naruto got up and, looking slightly affronted, Sasuke climbed to his feet. It's too bad Kiba wasn't here, Sakura mused. He could have done a lot with that. Feeling the full force of both boys' glares on her, she quickly amended, I mean, it's a good thing Kiba wasn't here. He never would have let that go. We could let you kill one and not the other, Kakashi agreed once that was sorted out. But that's really only the most basic form. And it's not like we don't want you to kill them. Sasuke snorted. We just don't want you to kill them right now, Kakashi continued, studiously ignoring him. Whatever they're planning, it's not going to take place today, because if they're going to do something during the exams, when there's so much increased security, they're going to wait until the tournament, like Orochimaru did with his little invasion. Take this month, train obsessively, and then if and when they try anything, you can be there to try and seek vengeance. Let me get this straight. You're okay with a plan that involves me seeking vengeance? Sasuke couldn't believe it. What happened to all that talk about how it won't make me feel better and it will just end up causing a circle of hatred or whatever?
That's chain of hatred,
Naruto helpfully corrected. I don't care, Sasuke said bluntly. I still believe that. Sasuke informed him. But since there doesn't actually appear to be anything on the planet capable of convincing you that revenge is a bad idea, even though after all you've been through on your epic quest for it, you should be thoroughly convinced of it, I'm just advocating delaying it until you get a chance to get stronger, and it will serve a greater purpose than just your need for vengeance. They could very well invade Konoha again and seek to destroy it, and you think it's a better idea to wait for that to happen than just taking them on now. Sasuke sounded incredulous. Yes, Kakashi said simply. Explain, Sasuke ordered. If that happens, all of Konoha's finest will be out to try and minimize the damage and take out the invaders. And it won't just be a 13-year-old against two of the most dangerous people Konoha has ever produced, Kakashi pointed out. And Kami knows if Kakashi and I didn't do everything we could to stop you from dying in the name of revenge, Naruto would never speak to us again, Sakura added. Especially since we've gotten you past that in one piece before we came back. Naruto nodded.
It's true! I probably wouldn't!
Sasuke tilted his head back as he tried to make a decision. On the one hand, he really wanted revenge. On the other, he didn't want to die before he got it. Or after, really, seeing as how his life was actually pretty good at the moment. Not to mention that he didn't trust his team not to go back again and this time blame the massacre on some fictional person and then have Kakashi kill him so he wouldn't even be able to have a target for his hatred. In the spirit of compromise, Sasuke decided, I'm willing to wait until the end of the exam. After that, if they haven't tried anything, I'm going after them. Kakashi nodded. Fair enough. But if they're not still in Konoha, you can't leave until we get assigned a mission outside of the village because you're not allowed to become a missing nin again. Agreed, Sasuke said grudgingly. Did we just manage to talk Sasuke into postponing his revenge? Sakura could not believe it. I put it off 3 years after I left Konoha because I needed to train with Orochimaru, Sasuke pointed out. What's one more month?
We are officially miracle workers,
Naruto decided. Let's meet up for ramen tonight after you guys are done with your training to celebrate, Kakashi suggested.
Hey, it just occurred to me that even though you are a teacher and all the other Jonin senses are teaching their students personally, you couldn't be bothered to help us, so we had to find our own instructors,
Naruto realized. I offered to Bisu, Kakashi defended himself. But you already more than made sure that we knew about tree climbing and water walking, Sakura reminded him. And doesn't he specialize in teaching the basics? Well, it was kind of a given that Itachi would work with Sasuke, and Jiraiya is Naruto's godfather, Kakashi repeated. What about me? Tsunade had no reason to agree to train me, and you didn't even help with that, Sakura countered. Hey, isn't it enough that I'm your cover for everything you know that you're not supposed to? Kakashi demanded. His three students exchanged looks. No. Sasuke, Itachi called out. Are you almost done? We need to start training. Yeah, Sasuke nodded. We're done here. He hesitated, wondering if he should say anything. They were letting me know that Orochimaru escaped. Itachi blinked. Did he? I hope you're not planning on going after him. Of course not, Sasuke said, sounding shocked. I have the upcoming Chunin exams to worry about. I can worry about taking down Orochimaru once I've gotten stronger. I'm glad, Itachi said approvingly. That's a very mature outlook for you to take.
Mature!
Naruto repeated incredulously as the two Uchiha walked away. Well, since he doesn't exactly want to come off too strong about how much he wants to kill the one supposedly responsible for the massacre to the person who was actually responsible for it and doesn't think it's anyone else's business, we're probably the only ones who get to see how obsessed he really is, Sakura pointed out. In fact, given that he can vent to us, he probably comes off as quite mature and well adjusted to everyone else. Kakashi said what everyone was thinking. Now, that is a frightening prospect.